This is Model D Audio in Chapter 2, Analog meets Digital. Evening all. Yes, I wanted to do another video of the audio in on the Model D. I didn't feel like I was done with that. And I think if you've seen my previous videos on the Model D, you're getting a good sense of what it is. It's just a relatively simple 3 oscillator mono synth. And then when we were looking at the audio in the last video I did with the Model D, we were putting the modular rig into the audio in. So I was like doing kind of analog into analog. So I thought it'd be interesting to do a kind of digital into analog video, so kind of at the other end of the spectrum from the Model D, we have something like the Skuplt from Modal. So this is a 4-voice polyphonic synthesizer, so subtractive synthesizer, but yeah, polyphonic, 4 voices, has like 8 oscillators per voice or something silly like that. I think they 3D print these. I might be wrong about that. Very light, very portable, bus powered. Yeah, so it's sort of, it's very, very different kind of machine compared to the sort of the big old Model D over there, which is a nice sort of steel faceplate, wooden side cheeks, and of course an entirely digital synth, and then also, as you'll see on some of the shots, I've got my Blofeld shining. It's reflecting a bit too much of the light, but it's still sort of plumbed in. I've got my Blofeld here, which again is another digital synthesizer. Another digital synthesizer, although very, very, very nice sounding. So I just thought it'd be interesting to process those sound sources through the Model D external audio in, and interestingly, it sounds really good. I think, well, it is being processed by the Moog ladder filter. Well, it is a Moog ladder filter. Yeah, because it's been processed by the analog filter. It does seem to make those digital synths sound really good. Not that they don't sound good anyway; they sound fine. Especially the Blofeld. Blofeld sounds really good. But yeah, just processing through the Model D, they do sound good, which is interesting. Anyway, I'll leave it to you to listen how it sounds. Let's get on with it. So let's start simple. We've got the Skuplt over here, and that's running out of my USB hub. So it's coming out of Reaper into the USB, and the USB is also powering it. So I can play it. Nice. And because it's all sort of tied into the DAW, I can also play it with my controller. Oh, lovely polyphony. So, step number 1, get the Skuplt going. Now I also have got separately, I've got an ARP going to the Model D. Let's just move the camera over, show you the Model D over there. So let's hear the Model D. Okay, so that's just the Model D on its own. And now we've got, I'm sending to the Skuplt also a really simple like ARP pattern, really simple. So now we can have the Model D playing along with the Skuplt. That sounds pretty good. That sounds pretty good. But now what we want to do is, and obviously we're hearing the Sculpt just through the mixer. Now what we want to do is just send the Sculpt to the audio in. Alright, so I've wired up just the main out of the Sculpt with this brown cable here. Yeah, you can use that's coming through on the phone camera, which is going into audio in. Nothing's turned on. Nothing's turned on. Let's play the DAW. We can't hear anything because the Sculpt is going into the Model D, but also I've turned everything. I've turned my Model D off as well. So let's just turn on oscillator 1, oscillator 2. Let's temporarily turn those off. Let's turn the audio in on. Dial that in. Check for overload. Ooh. Just about there. Now remember, because we're going into the Model D now, we've got the ladder filter at our disposal. So I've got that in the end, low pass. So we can almost just totally deaden it. Now to me that does sound nicer, but that's because I do have the reverb and the delay on it from the lexicon. If you just take off the delay and the reverb, I don't know, man. Maybe that does just sound nicer. That's interesting, isn't it? Does that sound nicer? Just because it's going through the Model D? Maybe. Bit of reverb. Bit of tape delay. Crikey, that sounds good. So let's start to dial in our Model D oscillators as well. Now supporting. Wow. That sounds good. Synth number 2, so I don't want to get away on that camera, but we've got the Blofeld over there. Let's hear that just on its own. comes to digital synths, the Blofeld, it's hard to beat. It's hard to beat. Sounds good. Sounds really, really good. Alrighty, so we're sending. Yeah, we've got these. So the Blofeld is going out of the synth into the audio in. So we can set all the sequencing going, and remember we need to have the sequences going for us to be able to hear anything. Again, sounds really nice. Let's take away the reverb and the delay. Does sound good. Let's put the delay and the reverb back in. Let's start dialing in the Model D oscillators. Let's put oscillator 3 in for a laugh. Wow. Right, as a final little thing, while we get everything set up, let's just put the Skuplt back going just into the main mixer, the Blofeld going into the Model D, and also the Model D oscillators playing. So we've got the Blofeld, Skuplt and the Model D all playing together. Obviously we're hearing the delay and the reverb from the Model D, which includes the Blofeld, and we're just hearing the Skuplt with whatever effects, the digital effects are coming out of it. And we've put some ERR1 in there for good measure, because why not? This sounds pretty good. I could listen to that all night long. Okay, thanks for watching. If you're new here, you're very welcome. I wear a silly hat and play with synthesizers and guitars. It's that simple. Any questions about the Model D, put them below. I'm not really, I don't know enough about the Sculpt and the Blofeld to really be able to tell you anything informative about those. When I've finished playing with the Model D, I'll maybe spend some time with the Sculpt, although I've got a Neutron just sat behind my computer. So I think I might dig into that as well. All right, cheers folks, see ya.